Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy Caden Chance and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking you guys with me through all of the anamorphic lenses I have and seeing the feel for them. Kind of limited in a sense, especially shooting anamorphic. You kind of want a little bit more big space, big sets, a lot of moving parts, shooting in a little bit deeper depth of field. But again, I just want to see what kind of images they can render in this space, similar to what I did with the Leica R lenses. So if you're new, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know whenever we're dropping new videos. We got a bunch of cool vlogs coming up in the next couple weeks, so make sure you're tuned in for that. And yeah, we're gonna go through both the Remus A set and the Mantis, A set. There's a bunch of different sets, what they call them. So we're gonna be going through all of my anamorphic lenses, only about 6 of them, and see what kind of images they can give us. So like I said, it's your boy Caden Chance. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's go. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Caden Chance and welcome back again to another little lens review. I honestly just want to do these just for myself, just so I understand the lenses a little bit better, and hopefully that can help some of you guys too. There's a bunch of great camera gear content creators that'll really dive into the nuance of each lens in these different sets, but I just want to put them on and see how, you know, they render in the space that I normally shoot spherically. Right now we're starting off with the Remus A set. This is the 45, which is interesting because this is like what I normally shoot a 19 in this room. I kind of get similar kind of field of view, so it's interesting to see. But again, when you shoot anamorphic, you get, you know, a little bit different quality of flares. This is the amber version of the Remus A set. That's the flare on that. And yeah, like I said, I just want to kind of see what they look like in a lit scene and compare them one against the other, the Remus versus the Mantis, and just against a spherical lens in the same lit scenario. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this as well, and we'll just go through the lenses that we got, see what we got. Again, this is the 45, and let's bring the focus to the back, and then we can bring it back to the front. The edges, get a little bit of distortion on the edges, nothing too crazy, and that's not fixable in post. But yeah, it definitely gives you some character. That's a 45, I believe. Yeah, this is a 45. All right, now we are on the 65. Might be a little bit soft on the focus. But yeah, this is the 65 from the Remus A set, a little bit tighter. See the flare, similar, very similar. Getting a little bit of secondary glow off of the light. Nice. This is 65. Yeah, kind of a little bit of awkward focal length, I think. I only have one other 60, and outside of a zoom, you don't typically find too many lenses with the focal length anywhere within the 60s. So really funky little focal length. But yeah, part of the Remus A set, and this is how that renders. We'll come to the edges again. You're getting some distortion on the edges. Focus may be a little bit soft. I'll move a little bit forward and backward because the focus is somewhere around here. But yeah, this is the 65 Remus. All right, last but not least is the softest and the slowest of the Remus A set is the 100 millimeter 2.8. Yeah, this is it. You can see some glow from my little backlight kind of flaring out the lens a little bit. You can see some of that losing some contrast. So you definitely want to matte box this. You don't want any extra spill. I mean, unless you want, you know, kind of that glowy look if you're going for a wedding or something like that. Really nice. But let's see the flare on the, oh, gotta turn it up. On the 100, again, very similar to the previous two. Very consistent with the Remus A-set. Nice lenses, decently sharp, not nearly the sharpest. And again, I'm only shooting these pretty much wide open, maybe a half a stop closed down, but for the main, and that's only for to make focus a little bit easier, to give me a little bit more leeway. Yeah, this is the Remus A-set. Anamorphic lenses, really nice. I've shot a couple of short films on them, a couple of little talking head documentary sequences. I really enjoy these lenses, and especially speed boosted on the Komodo, you get some character. Again, not as much distortion on the edges on the tighter focal length as the 45, even not as much on the 65. You get a little bit more, you know, true edges without as much distortion. So again, that's the Remus 100mm. Now we're going to move on to the mantises and see the difference. And again, these have been speed boosted on my Komodo, so the mantises will be in a Super 35 mode, because the only mount that I have that is compatible with my Komodo is PL. So we'll jump over to the mantises and see the difference in rendering, and also in a Super 35 mode, which will give inherently a cleaner look at the lens without, you know, using the edges of that full frame capability of both sets of these lenses. So let's move to the mantis. All right, now we're over to the mantises, and immediately I can tell they're light years sharper. Again, far less squeeze. This is a 1.3 squeeze as opposed to the, get that light. That's what happens when you're on audio. Almost got killed. On audio, video, lighting, and talent. Sometimes you almost die in the process. Okay, be safe on set, guys. But yes, this is the 35mm mantis. Now let me show you guys just what these look like. So these are fairly similar, good to look at, right? This is the 50. Where is that? Yeah, and this is the 45. This is the Remus. This is the set we just got done looking at, and this is what we're looking at now. These are the Mantis 1.3, and the one big difference in these is, if you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but when you stop this one down, it has a circle aperture. You can see that. It has a circle. Oh, let me get it behind that. It has a circle aperture. Okay, but this is a 1.5 squeeze anamorphic lens. But when we look at the Mantis, the thing that they've done, which is pretty cool, is they've given us, it's hard for you guys to see, an oval iris. Even when you stop it down, it's still an oval. So what that does is that gives you kind of a forced look of a lens that has a little bit more squeeze than a 1.3. So you get a little bit more character even though you're not getting as much width. Like, think about it, the tripod hasn't moved. Maybe the angle has adjusted a little bit over the course of this, but the actual position hasn't moved forward, backward, anything like that. This is a 35, and I felt like on the Remus we were getting more real estate in the room. This feels more like a 28 to me, as opposed to the Remus at a 1.5 squeeze felt more like a 19, 20 millimeter, 21, somewhere around there, a little bit wider. And this feels just like maybe a 24, maybe not quite 28, but still pretty wide. Nonetheless, nice lens, super sharp. Let's see the flares on this. Again, this is also Super 35, so you're gonna get a super sharp rendering. And again, pretty similar kind of flaring as the Remus. Again, I went with the amber just because that was what I had already had in the Remus, and in the case that, you know, I do book these on a production, I want them to all be able to kind of speak the same language without being too different. Yeah, this is the 35. Is it a 35? Yeah, this is the 35 millimeter Mantis. So, oh yeah, and the edges, as you can see, this is Super 35. That's why I didn't even bother. You're not really getting much distortion at all. Let's see if we can see. No, you can't really. I don't really have. I need like some like twinkly lights to kind of show you the anamorphism that you get even when you stop down. So again, that's the 35. Okay, now we are on the Mantis 50 millimeter. Again, you're not really going to get much character on this 1.33 lens that's a lot sharper than the Remus, especially in Super 35. So once I get a PL adapter for my ZR, then don't mind that like a lens cap. This is a Viltrox 28. If you wondered what I vlog with, it is the ZR on a Viltrox 28 1.8 with the hot shoe Nikon ME D10. This is my vlog setup with a little variable ND on the front. Yeah, pretty much gets the job done. But yeah, this when you're shooting these on Super 35, you're just gonna really get a clean rendering image, very similar to a spherical. And here we're seeing some nice secondary flares though. If you're seeing those bubble flares, I really like those blue ones coming out. Oh, this is really cool. I'm glad that I did this because then I know which one, if I want, you know, kind of heavy flare, you know, kind of look, kind of vibe, music video type of thing, sci-fi kind of movie. If you're seeing these like secondary circular flares, I'm a big fan of those. We've seen these prior on the other lenses, but this is really the first time, at least from the phone, maybe from a stronger light source like the sun. The others may display some of this secondary flaring, but big fan of that. Big fan of the 50 so far out of the Mantis in this Super 35 crop mode. That's my favorite. Yeah, some people may say, oh, flares are gimmicky, yada yada yada, but I enjoy them. I think clients do as well, especially for wedding stuff and, you know, sports stuff. I feel like, you know, it's a little bit added, you know, dramaticism, a little bit of added Hollywood flair. So this is the 50. So far, my favorite flaring anamorphic lens that I have. So I'm definitely interested to get a PL to Z adapter and see what kind of images these will render on a full frame sensor, because they're very clean. It's, I mean, I can hardly tell it's anamorphic just looking at my monitor right now, just because it is so clean. I mean, yeah, it is wider. Close focus is actually a lot better on these lenses than the Remus. This is about close focus, and I'm pretty close here. I mean, about a foot. What does it say? 0.48, whatever that means, y'all. If you know meters, 0.48 meters, I think. So yeah, I mean, about a foot and a half maybe. So anamorphics aren't known for close focus. Like, I could vlog even with this 50, which is pretty crazy. It's kind of feeling similar to like a 35 or something, 40, pretty tight as a vlog lens. But I mean, with the close focus, I'm holding the camera and I can adjust the focus. Yeah, I could vlog with anamorphic. The 35 might be better. The 25 would probably be the best if I really wanted to vlog with any of these anamorphic lenses. Wouldn't be easy. Would definitely want some kind of LiDAR autofocus if I was gonna do that. But I mean, realistically, could definitely vlog with it. With the 35, definitely the 25. I'd be interested to see how wide that 25 really is and how wide it renders, because on a full frame sensor, again, because this is Super 35, it's really cropped. So yeah, this is the 50. All right, and lastly we have the 75. Again, we're not getting much information on what these lenses can really do character wise. Seeing a little bit of glow from there. I'm also in a soft focus because it's a little bit tougher to find a good framing. Let me see, get it in focus. Okay, that's good enough. Should adjust the light, but that's fine. Yeah, this is the 75, last one in the set. Again, I would love to get these mantises, because I feel like I'm not getting much of that anamorphic feel on the Super 35 because they are so clean. Let's see how the 75 flares. I imagine they'll be nice because the 50 was, yeah, it's just really tight. Like, you could see, I mean, we're just out of space, especially in this setup. Yeah, in a 75, you definitely want to be operating. Not the easiest to just keep me in focus here, but again, really nice lens. Close focus is great. Let me see. Close focus is here, not as good as the 50, about 2 feet probably. But yeah, that is the 75. All right, that was it. That was my anamorphic lenses. My personal favorite as far as flaring was the 50. The 50 on the Mantis. Like I said, I really want to get the Mantises on a full frame sensor. I bought the adapters from Blazar to adapt the Mantis lenses to EF so I could speed boost them on the Komodo, but there was a protrusion, so in that I can only use them in the Super 35 mode. because I don't have a full frame PL speed booster. But again, they were really sharp, great close focus, great flaring. I'm sure that the other two get some additional kind of secondary flaring when you get a strong enough light source. Again, the phone isn't the best, but yeah, I mean, you can see the difference you get. If some of you don't know kind of the difference between a spherical lens flare and an anamorphic one, you can kind of see, and don't mind the searching of the autofocus. You get these secondary flares are kind of like the spherical flares, pardon me, are kind of like the secondary flares that I really enjoy on an anamorphic lens. And I did get that out of the 50. But I love the width that I'm able to get out of the 45. Like the 45, like I said, felt kind of like this, honestly, just a little bit more, dramatic, but it felt like this kind of field of view. And this is on a 24 right now, and we're shooting the beginning and end segments on a autofocus lens, Canon EF. So I mean, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you want an anamorphic lens? Do you want a spherical lens set for your next one? Do you want vintage like my Leica R lens set? Do you want something new like a Thypoc or a DZO set, or Sigma, or even something more high-end like a Cook SP3? Ooh, I love those. A set of those would be just so nice. I'd love to shoot on those. Or something like a Zeiss CP3. Let me know what your guys' dream lens set is. Drop them in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.